Alright, in this video we're going to review angle of elevation, angle of depression. So we're going to look at these two problems, 12 and 13. One has an angle of elevation, one has an angle of depression. So number 12 says a man tethers a kite to the ground. When the kite is 80 feet above the ground, the angle of elevation is 52 degrees. Find the length of the string. So let's get a sketch here. Because it's an angle of elevation problem, I like to call this my angle of elevation triangle, and I'm going to put my angle of elevation right here. My angle of elevation is 52 degrees. My right angle would be here. So this is where I'm tying the kite to the ground. This represents the kite string, and if you wanted, you could draw a little kite here to give you a little better understanding of what's going on in the diagram. It says when the kite is 80 feet above the ground, we want to find the length of the string, so we'll put an X there. Okay, so I would say the most difficult part is getting the image correct and labeling it correctly. So we have angle of elevation. An angle of elevation is an angle that goes up from a horizontal line. So that's why I put the 52 there. This represents height, and this represents the string. So let's solve this. We don't have a method to go directly to the X right now, or the hypotenuse, so we have to find this distance down here, the horizontal distance, y. So we would have to use tangent. So we'll do tan 52 equals the opposite, which is 80, over y. So we're going to cross multiply that. We get y tan 52 equals 80. We're going to divide both sides by tan 52. That gives us y to equal, pop that in your calculator, you should get y to equal 62.5. So now we have the 62.5. Okay, and how are we going to find x? We're going to have to use the Pythagorean theorem to do that. So I'm going to treat these as my a and my b, and my x as my c. So I have 62.5 squared plus 80 squared equals x squared. Alright, let's work this out. 62.5 squared gives me 3,906.25 plus 80 squared gives me 6,400 equals x squared. If you add them, their sum is 10,306.25. My last step, I need to square root that, and I get x to be 101.5, which is the length of the string. So the length of the string would be 101.5. Okay, let's look at number 13. 13 deals with an angle of depression. So from the top of a vertical cliff 40 meters high, the angle of depression of an object that is level with the base of the cliff is 34 degrees. How far is the object from the base of the cliff? So let's start with a cliff here. We'll call this our cliff. We're looking down at an object. Okay, remember angle of depression has to come down from a horizontal line. So my angle of depression would be right here, 34 degrees. We're looking down, and the angle of depression goes down from a horizontal line. All right, my right angle is going to go there. It tells us that the cliff's 40 meters high. So if this cliff is 40 meters, that means this over here, this leg is 40 meters high. It asks us how far is the object. Okay, so my object's right here. How far is the object from the base of the cliff? So I want to know this distance here, which is going to be the same as this distance up here. So now I have my diagram. All right, angle of depression, that's the distance from the object to the base of the cliff, and my height is 40. So I can see that I can use tan here. Tan 34 equals 40 over x. We're going to put that over 1, and we're going to cross multiply. So I get x tan 34 equals 40. Alright, we're going to divide by tan 34 to both sides. That leaves me with x to equal 59.3. All right, so hopefully this helps you understand angle of elevation and angle of depression a little bit better. Thanks.